Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. This is your host, Lizzabitty. I want to welcome you and thank you for joining me. As you know, it is nighttime here in Dubai, but we have a special guest today, and we're going to be talking about all things business on Alkebulan and a little repatriation for the Blacks in the diaspora. So I am going to bring in my guest today. Today we have Block 929. I will let him formally introduce himself and we will get started. Okay. Hello, how are you?
All right. Fine, and you?
Awesome. I am so, first of all, I am so excited to have you here today because I silently watch people in the background without ever commenting, and I have been following you actually since you got your channel up. So this is really exciting.
Yeah.
Really exciting. So please tell us about yourself, your name, etc., and then we'll jump right into it.
My name is Teddy Gwerebeta. I'm a Malawian. I run a business called Gizmo Machines. And this business, we manufacture cement block machines. And we are just about to go into agriculture sector where we will be also manufacturing the working tractors and the utility vehicles for the agriculture sector.
What kind of tractors?
It's a push tractor. It's the one that you actually push with your hands. And we also want to be manufacturing utility tractors where you can be using them for harvesting. But in our country, because we have a lot of problems in the transport sector, the same utility tractor can also be used for people in the villages as a means of transport and also as a means of ambulance.
Wow. You know, back in the U.S., you have a few people that still use push lawnmowers. So it's interesting that you're talking about using the actual push tractors. I mean, I haven't seen those in quite some time myself. However, it does work. It still works. The concept and methodology still works. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, the reason why I invited you here today is totally about because I recall that you were talking about you were going to travel to the Gambia as well, and as well
Yes.
as your brick making machines. So my
Yes.
First question, because everything for Blacks in the diaspora who are going to be coming, we should offer solutions, not just give rhetoric. We should give solutions to the people so they can know how to position themselves. So
Yeah.
first, let me ask you, is your company open for investment? Let me ask that question. If someone from the diaspora wanted to come and say they wanted to invest in your company, can they do that?
Okay, at the moment, it's not yet open. It should be opening early next year because at the moment, my business is registered as a sole proprietor. So soon we're going to open as a limited company. So it will be happening in the next year. Yeah, so we will be open for investment. However, I've also got another business called property investment, which will also be registered as a limited company. And as soon as in early January, we're also going to be open for investments. That one is in the property business.
Okay, that's in property development. Gotcha. So can you tell me,
yes.
How long have you been in business in Malawi? And how did you come up with the
All right,
concept of brick making machines, and then you created your own generator? So just give us a whole gamut, Ted.
All right. I used to live in South Africa, so I lived there for about 15 years. But then I started thinking about home and then started to look at for opportunities that are in which areas I can venture in the business in Malawi. Then I discovered that the best area to go in was in property. So initially, when I came back in 2011, I started a property investment, which was actually a business where I was flipping houses and selling them. And then until when one of the diaspora friends, the Malawian, asked me to build a house for her here in Lilongwe. So she demanded that I must build the house using cement blocks. And at that time, cement blocks were not that much popular in Malawi. So I started building the house and sharing the concept on Facebook. So it had a lot of controversial ideas from different people. So I kept on educating Malawians about the cement blocks until in 2013 when somebody asked how they can get a machine. And then it just pushed me to start manufacturing the machine. So the first machine we manufactured was the manual machine until 2015 when the government put a ban on all bent bricks in their projects, and then we saw the corporate world following suit. Then it gave me an opportunity to come up with a mechanic machine. So that's why I am now manufacturing cement blocks machines.
Oh, wow. So that's interesting that the government had done that. Okay, interesting.
Yes.
So can you tell us then, since you're saying that you're not accepting investments at this time, let's say I came to Malawi, you and I met, and I say to you, well, I want to buy several of your brick making machines, because as you know, a lot of them are not made by us, meaning people of all this beautiful melanin that's going on. So do you have shippers and logistics people in place, let's say to get from Malawi to the Gambia, Malawi to Ghana, Malawi, to Senegal? How would we facilitate purchasing some assets of yours?
At the moment, it's a challenge, and I'm working with the Minister of Finance and also Minister of External Affairs so that they can help me, the Minister of Trade and Eastern Industry, so that they can help me to find ways how I can be shipping my machines outside Malawi. So at the moment, I'm only selling the machines locally, so we have never been able to sell the machines outside Malawi. And above that, there's big demand that we are failing to meet the demands. At the moment, people actually have to place an order, pay a deposit, because we can't be able to supply them, because there's a big demand. And that's why we're building the workshop, so that in the workshop we can increase the production so that we can now be ahead of the... Yes.
So interesting, you say that demand is high and how you're requiring deposits. So just so you know, typically in oil and gas, this is normal business practices because of how the supply chain and the manufacturing floor works. So you're not, so people may be saying, well, I got to give a deposit and I'm not getting anything. Yeah. So that is normal business in manufacturing for us in the diaspora. So that is interesting. Can you, so you were saying moving the assets to different countries outside of Malawi is going to be a strategic challenge. Well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Is it plausible, because I remember you saying that you were going to go to the Gambia. Is it plausible then that you could actually use your knowledge base to teach others in the country, or do you want to keep your intellectual property first and then try to move out to shipping? Tell me
my idea was that because there's a challenge in shipping the machines outside Malawi, my idea was to establish myself in those countries. Like if I come to Gambia, I will establish myself and then find a team of young people, and then we work together. I train them how to manufacture this machine. So if I can be allowed to do that, that would be a very good way of doing it. Otherwise, to ship the machines, they're heavy, they're big, and it's a big challenge from east to west to ship your machines. So the best would be for me to establish in the countries where I want to be selling my machines.
Okay, so then if you do that, then how are you? I guess I'm thinking about your intellectual property rights. Okay, so if you do that, how are you going to keep the secrets to building these things? If you do that, I don't have a problem. Actually, I like that you're willing to give your knowledge to other people. That is awesome, especially people that look like you and I. But there, as a professional, there's a certain level of business that go along with a person's invention, if you will. And so if you gave all of that up, I mean, are you fine with that?
Actually, what I'm doing now, I'm working with our Malawi Bureau of Standards, and so that I can also protect my ideas, so I get some patents for my equipment. And then after I've done that, that's when I'll be able to move across Africa and try to manufacture machines in other countries, but then with the protection that is coming with the intellectual property.
Okay, because it's possible too that you probably could set up your own, the same business in another country. It'll have the same name, you just go and register and all of that. Something just to think about as well. Okay.
Yes.
Since you are, because what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, really, it really, really is. So my next question to you is about because I don't want to keep you too long.
Yeah.
Blacks in the diaspora. What ways do you think
Yes.
that we can serve the different countries, sovereign nations that are on the continent, you know, in positive ways? Because you're there, you're a native Malawian.
Yeah.
Give us some insight into that, Ted.
Okay, the main factor is going to be the knowledge, because I think that the diasporans who can bring in a wealth of knowledge. Like for myself, all the machines that I'm manufacturing, it's just me doing research on the internet and watching other people when they're doing their manufacturing on the internet, and that's how I'm getting my knowledge. My knowledge is not a learned knowledge that you can really apply. So for instance, if I'm busy building this utility tractor, I wouldn't know how the gears are supposed to be if I want to reduce the gear reduction and all those things. So I think there are a lot of diasporans there who have got these engineering skills, electrical skills, who can come in and give in their knowledge to improve the production of my machines or whatever we're doing here in Africa.
Okay.
And then in return for
no, go ahead.
In return from us, our people who are from Africa, we are going to be able to showcase the opportunities. We are able to see the opportunities that are there because we know the challenges that we're facing in Africa. So if we can work together, then we can actually be able to bring out something that is very fruitful.
Okay, well, I don't know if you've watched some of my videos, but the first time I set foot on the continent, it was in Blantyre, Malawi. Okay.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's my hometown.
900 million years ago.
All right. Oh, that's interesting.
If you want to sell Malawi, how would you, as a businessman, sell Malawi to diasporans who probably were not even thinking about Malawi? Let's say Malawi never entered their mind. They're thinking Tanzania, Kenya, you know, Botswana, Namibia, like this. How would you sell them on Botswana?
Okay, Malawi is not a rich country. Malawi is actually one of the poorest countries in the world. But because of that, there is a lot of opportunities. So there is a lot of challenges that needs to be sorted in terms of the farming industry. We're looking at the transport industry. We're looking at the agriculture, mining. There's wealth of opportunities, even in the health sector. So there will be opportunities for people to come here and establish business in those areas. So it's not like when you go to countries like South Africa where you'll be competing with some people who have already established. But in Malawi, you might be the one to introduce something that is new, that has never been implemented in Malawi before. Like, for instance, at the moment, I'm the first person to bring in this mechanic machine in Malawi. So people are actually following me, but that was like the first person to do it. So there are so many things. Even if I produce this utility tractor, I'll be the first person to do it here in Malawi.
Wow. Lots. Look, you're going to be a famous man around here. That's going to help a lot of farmers. That's going to help a lot of farmers.
Yes. That's what I do. My business actually looks at challenges and we turn them into opportunities. So my model is to check and see which areas are people complaining about, and then I want to be the solution to those problems that the people are complaining about.
Yes. So let me ask you this. Do you find yourself being an anomaly in that you're maybe one of the few Malawians that are doing cutting edge things like yourself now? Would you find yourself being
at the moment,
or doing something as such?
No. In the manufacturing side, I might be the only one at the moment. But we have also some people who are now in the technology IT side. We have one of our young Malawian by the name of Mayan Koloma, who's also doing very well. He's coming up with very good ideas. So in the other sectors, yes, we do have other people who are like the first in whatever they're doing. But when it comes to this manufacture at this moment, because we used to do a lot of manufacturing before in Malawi, but now it's just suddenly just died out. So I'm like one of the few people that is reviving the manufacturing in Malawi.
Awesome. That's really good because, as you know for yourself, manufacturing on the continent is lacking, and that is a dire need all across the board.
Very much, very much.
Excluding South
Yes.
Africa, Botswana, Namibia.
Yes. Yes.
Manufacturing in the other nations, it could be stepped up a bit. So you definitely, I love that you are satisfying a need. And what's interesting is when you said Ted, that making the bricks and how they were doing construction, this was something new. If I recall my time there, you're absolutely correct. They were not building houses like they're doing in Ghana on the west side of the continent. They were not there.
That's true.
And that was 20 plus years ago. So I totally recognize how interesting it is to come full swing, and here you are doing this. So there could be a lot of opportunity, just as you said. I understand that. I understand that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your property development?
Okay, in Malawi, the property development is still in its infancy, but it's growing. We still haven't yet started doing the, the gated communities in Malawi. So there is an opportunity in those areas. But it is a growing industry. I would say Lilongwe, the city that I'm coming from, could be the fastest growing city in Africa because the property is booming. So there's a lot of opportunities. But however, most of the methods being used are still outdated. So we're still looking for people that must come in and bring in these new technologies in terms of construction. Okay.
Now, before we go, because I know you have to take care of your business, I have a question for you, Ted. Yeah. Can you tell us, because I think I've seen, if memory serves me correct, you have two different machines. One is slower than the other. Can you tell us about your whole product line for the brick making machinery that you operate?
Okay, I have at the moment a manual machine, which can be operated manually. The other one that I shared, I think today or yesterday on YouTube. And then we have the mechanic machine. The manual machine can produce up to 300 blocks per day, and it just requires 2 people to operate it. And then the mechanic machine can produce up to 1,500 blocks per day. And it requires you to have a team of maybe 3 or 4 guys to do it. One operating the machine, the other one supplying the motor, 2 guys who are going to be doing the mixing. So yeah, you'll be able to produce about 1,500 machines. Very soon we want to, because most of my clients, when they have bought this machine and their business is booming, they are upgrading by buying a big machine from China, the big mechanic machine. So I'm also thinking of introducing this big mechanic machine. And also I want to produce mechanic manual machines so that can produce about 5 blocks at a time, but you will not be applying or using any mechanical like petrol, diesel, or electric. Yes. Wow,
very efficient, and you wouldn't have to rely on other materials to create the final product. So that would actually save the person whoever the mason person to make them, saving money in terms of his supplies.
Yeah. Yes, very much.
Oh wow.
Yes, very much. Because some of the people are starting a business. Yeah, so some people are starting businesses with my machines, and then they are making big business and they need to upgrade to bigger machines. So they have to buy from China. So I want to stop them from buying from China so that they can just upgrade from this mechanic to the big industrial machines.
Thank you, Ted. That is very commendable. Seriously. Yeah. That is so commendable, because most of even like the cement mixer machines that they can use to put the cement in those brick making machines, most of those come from China as well. And you're trying to keep the business black. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So,
and all this just started when I turned 40 years of age. Something just happened and knowledge just started flowing like water. Ideas just started coming in. Yeah.
Sometimes in life things can happen for us later, but that's actually our prime. We're really in our prime right now.
Yes.
We really
very much.
We didn't know it then.
Very much.
You know it now.
Now I know it now. Yes.
So my final question to you is: if all Blacks in the diaspora return to Alkebulan, do you think we could be a superpower? This is a
very much, very much, Because I'm telling you, combining the two cultures together, ideas that these guys have actually tapped from the West and the ideas that are still here in Africa and the opportunities that we have, if we can work together, I'm telling you, we can be a force that can be very powerful, very, very powerful. Yes.
Now, Ted, when are you planning to go to the Gambia?
I went to there to check on the air fees, but then they are very, very expensive. It's actually from here to Gambia, I have to pay 1.3 million kwacha, which is almost like 30,000 rands, or I can just say it's about, I think it's close to 1,500 US dollars, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a lot of money. So you go to
South Africa first?
No, if I fly, I have to fly to Tanzania. From Tanzania, I have to fly to Ghana. From Ghana to Gambia. So, but it's very expensive. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So I need to actually raise some funds, to make it possible.
Yes.
But I wanted to go. I wanted to leave as soon as possible. Yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah.
We want to see this becomes a long legacy of just continental Africans doing business with each other in this way, in terms of machinery.
Yeah.
You know, you all already work together with farming and like this, but in terms of machinery, this is really unprecedented. Just like what Dangote is doing with the oil refinery. I mean, that's when he finishes that is going to be unprecedented. That he can refine oil and cut out all of the West. Now you watch what happens when that happens. Watch what happens. We'll keep that talk off of YouTube. Well, Ted, I want to thank you for joining me today. I don't want to keep you too long, but I want to thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Your knowledge. Everyone, please go to Block929 is his channel. He updates frequently and shows his machinery as well as the warehouse structure that he's building for his manufacturing and everything. So everyone, please go there. I want to thank you so much again for giving me your time. Everyone in Limblick, it loves you. So just like I do, and keep up the good work, and we'll be in touch and all of that good stuff.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I really, really appreciate it. And every time I think about Gambia, I have lots of goosebumps. I can't wait to be there.
That is too funny. That is too funny.
Yeah.
But yes. I mean, you're doing great things, and it's really inspiring and heartwarming and all of that, just to really watch you and how all of this is taking shape. The time is now. Everyone.
Thank you very much.
The time is now. So thank you so much. And
thank you very much.
Have a good one. And Lizzabitty is going to be out. So I
thank you.
Back for a short live shortly with you guys. I may be back. Lizzabitty out.
Thank you.
Thank you.